Welcome back, adventurers. Looking to terrify your D&D players with some undead creatures? Well, today we're taking a look at the most terrifying Dungeons & Dragons creatures to help you plan your next encounter. First up, we're talking about skeletons and zombies. Now, skeletons and zombies are sort of your basic bitch monsters, but they're our basic bitches. They've been the staple in D&D games for a reason, and with a little bit of flavoring, you can make them stand out if you're looking for something with a twist. Skeletons can use weapons and bows, which makes them a tough opponent, especially in numbers, and depending on what they are wearing, are a great way to hook in potential lich BBEGs early on with like a symbol or a crazy artifact around their neck. And zombies are fun because you can just double their speed and watch your party freak out at the runners. Now, second is our ghouls and ghasts. Now, ghouls are just sort of souped up zombies that can paralyze you with their claws, but ghasts are tough monsters that let out a stench that can poison enemies, making them difficult to get close to. A few of these are enough to make a deadly encounter at low levels, and you can flavor the stench however you want for something really scary. Next up are your wights. Now, these things are terrifying when you do them right. They're basically just zombies, but the big difference being that these guys can think and speak. Imagine fighting a horde of undead and dropping a few of these in there to surprise your players when the easy opponent suddenly starts to talk back. And worst of all is their life drain ability that steals their hit point maximum, and if you're killed by this, you come back as an undead yourself. They are badass, and if you roleplay it right, you can easily use them as minions for a low-level campaign arc that has some sort of undead lich or necromancer or something like that involved in it. Now, moving on, next is shadows. Now, shadows are incorporeal creatures and are a nightmare for pretty much any party. Shadows are especially terrifying because they can drain your strength every time they hit you. Imagine a player dropping to 0 strength in the middle of a dungeon. Now, the best part is that the shadows can actually hide in the dark. They slip in and out of shadows, making them really hard to spot and even harder to hit. And if you're looking to strike fear into your players, sending a shadow or two to stalk them from the darkness will keep them on edge for the entire session. Now, vampires are iconic for a reason, and in D&D they can be some of the most terrifying and intelligent undead creatures to throw at your party. With a long list of abilities, from charming players to shape-shifting into bats or mist, vampires are really versatile opponents who can adapt to the party's strategy, and don't forget their ability to drain hit points with a bite, also restoring their own health in the process. Setting up an entire campaign centered around a vampire lord can really make for some high-stakes horror-themed storytelling, especially if they start converting NPCs that your players have started to fall in love with throughout the campaign. I'm looking at you, Curse of Strahd. Now, for something really horrifying, check out the Atropal. Now, the Atropal is an unfinished, stillborn, godlike creature that never fully formed. It's actually sort of like the spawn of Atropos, which is known as the world-born dead, able to command legions of undead at will. The Atropal's aura, along with its ability to heal itself by sucking life force from nearby creatures, makes it really terrifying. Plus, look at it. It's just gross. Now, next up is the Oblex, and that's a bit of an unexpected undead pick, but it can be just as terrifying as any other creature. Now, this creature was created by illithids and is essentially a psychic mind-eating ooze that can drain memories and shape itself into the creatures it's consumed. Now, what's really special about this one is that it was designed by a kid named Nolan Whale who got to work at D&D for the day as part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And let me tell you, they created something truly horrifying. The psychological horror of not knowing who's real and whose insides have been replaced by a psychic jelly makes Oblexes a truly and terrifying addition to any campaign. Now, if you really want to make your campaign a delight, you need Describe. Now, instead of talking to you about it, I decided it's probably better just to show you. So here's 30 seconds of ambient sounds brought to you by Describe. Don't skip, it's good for you. Now, up next is the Demi-Lich. When it comes to undead terror, the Demi-Lich is top tier. Unlike the typical Lich, this floating skull is all that's left of a once mighty spellcaster. Don't be fooled by its appearance, though. It's got legendary resistances, it's got the ability to trap souls, and all of that necrotic damage that it deals can end characters instantly. The Demi-Lich encounter is not for the faint of heart. If your players think they've faced tough undead before, introducing a Demi-Lich will have them rethinking their approach to survival completely. I promise you I've faced one of these. They are not an easy opponent. Up next, we have the Death Tyrant. Now, it's basically just the undead version of a Beholder, so if you want to throw a Beholder, or you already have thrown a Beholder at your party and you want to kind of put a twist on it, Undead Beholder. Now, it's just as horrifying as you'd imagine. It floats just like the original, with a skull-like appearance and beams of necrotic energy that shoot from its eye stalks. The real kicker is that a Death Tyrant can animate nearby dead creatures, turning a standard encounter into absolute chaos. You toss a Death Tyrant at your players when you want to make them rethink any of the trust that they've put on you ever. And finally, we have the Nightwalker. The Nightwalker is a being that embodies just pure destruction. It stands over 20 feet tall. It's a hulking figure. It wields super deadly powers like being able to drain vitality. Creatures killed by it can't be resurrected except by a wish spell, which makes it an especially terrifying prospect for any D&D party. And at a CR 20, this thing is no joke. If you want to create a truly apocalyptic moment for your campaign, unleashing a Nightwalker will give your players an unforgettable challenge. And there you have it. That is our top 10 undead monsters to terrify your players. Now I want to turn it over to you. What undead creatures have terrified your players the most? Let me know in the comments down below. And normally we would be dropping a let me know where you saw Tobias and a blah blah blah. Some of you might know Tobias is missing. Recently, a bunch of you helped track him down to a creepy forest and we found a portal there. And you found out where it leads. Well, I got reports and it actually leads to the Feywild. But now, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck here and you, well, I've already asked so much already. But I have this. Maybe you'd be willing to go for a creepy tome that I found up here? It's yours if you're willing to track Tobias into the Feywild. I don't know if it's good or if it does anything, it could just be a book. But if you're willing, give me a for Tobias in the comments and make a perception check. Remember, no lying, the gods are watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. Forge on, my friends, and we'll see you next time, adventurers.